Alright, I thought I would show a little bit about the Omnibus F3 V2, the Nano version. So it's 20 by 20 millimeter mounting holes. Because it's my new favorite flight controller for micros, so I thought this might help some people know how to do a few things with it. Because I had trouble to begin with. The very first one that I used, I didn't wire it right for getting all the OSD readings correctly, mainly just with this current sensor. So here, this is the flight controller, and here is a 12 amp 4-in-1, and you can see, so before, when I build micros, I usually run the XT30 from the 4-in-1 ESC and then just run 2 little wires up to power the flight controller. But for this particular flight controller, to get the correct OSD readings, you got to kind of do it reverse. So you run the XT30 off of the flight controller and then run 2 wires down to the 4-in-1. And then to be able to get the correct current sensor readings, you got to run your power wire on this side of the current sensor, not this side. This side it won't work. I don't know why. They're both positive sides, I guess, but I don't know. So you just need to run it on this side of the current sensor. You can tin this, no problem. It tins really well. And then your negative over here, all the way on the left, is your negative. So you can see I'm just got them running to the positive and negative on the 4-in-1. Always make sure, double check that you got the right one to the right one, or you'll smoke your shit, which I have done before. And they have pluses and minuses on the boards. You can see there's plus there and minus there, and they're on there too, except for this side. It doesn't say anything, but I mean, I guess if you're watching my video, you'll know that that's the positive side. So, and then you got your plug for your signal wires, and there's just the 4 signals and then 1 ground. This is a CSATA 12 amp 4-in-1. So if you have it to where the signal plug is on the bottom of your quad, then it's always going to be the same for where the motors are. So green, the green wire is always motor 1, yellow will always be motor 2, orange is motor number 3, and purple is motor number 4. And the signal pads on this flight controller are really tiny, so I always thought that they would rip off real easily, but so far I haven't ripped off any pads. And there's only one side, so you don't have another side. If you rip one off, you're gonna have to do the Betaflight CLI command to change it to something else. I always change it to the LED because I never use the LED, but I am using the LED on this one, so hopefully I don't rip a pad off. But haven't had that issue yet. They seem like really well made. This is a really well made flight controller, and the pads don't rip off easily. So and then next I got my buzzer here, and that's, if you're looking at it to where the battery cable's coming out the back, you got at the very top on the right side, the inside one is positive, the outside's negative for your buzzer. Then 1, 2, 3, 4th pin down on the outside is your LED signal, and then right below that is your power, and right below that is your ground. So those 3 are for LED. And then on the inside bottom, very bottom, is another ground, and then right above that is another power, 5 volt. And this plug will be for my VTX03. And then over here on the left, for Spectrum users, you got your 3 pads. You got your signal at the top closest to the USB. Then next below that is your ground, and then below that is your power, 3.3 volt. And then these 2 teeny tiny little pads here are your bootloader pads, if you ever need to use that. And then I got this all already wired up, so I just unsoldered these wires and soldered in my own wires. So this is the plug from the Foxeer Aero Micro V2. Let's see, I'll show you it plugged in. Here's this beauty. I love that they sent me a blue one. So that'll plug in there. Then I got my video in and video out, the two yellows. Those will run to on here. It's the two right below the buzzer. Also on the bottom side of this flight controller, it does tell you what each of these are. It says it. It's screen printed on here. So actually it's the third pins down, or no, it's the second pins down. Yeah, that's right. The writing is below what the pads are. So second one's down. Video out is on the outside and video in is on the inside. And then I just got this is for your settings. This camera comes with one of these. You can just plug it right in whenever you need to change settings. And then this is the power that I showed you right there. And then the camera is being powered from the 5V off the VTX03. And that's about it. That's all the wiring. So if you do it like how I got it, you will have done it correct. Alright.